Hi, just coming to you really quickly this morning. It's beautiful. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. I am in Puerto Penasco, Mexico, and yeah, just enjoying this peaceful place right now. I guess in the summer when it gets hot, it gets crazy here, but it's nice right now. But during this, if you haven't checked out my Ignite Vision program yet, it's really proving to be very, very powerful for people who are participating. But one of the coaching calls I had recently was about this subject of what I'm calling undelivered communication. And that is, this is what I hear a lot in life, not just in my coaching world, but in life. People don't want to talk about, they don't want to communicate honestly in their world because, and here's what the slime or the logical brain has been geared to justify and rationalize the fear brain, and the conversation goes like this. It happens regularly, let's put it that way. Oh, I can't tell them that. I can't say that. I'll go, why? Is it the truth? Well, yeah. Well, why don't you tell the truth? Because they won't hear it. It'll just go to a fight. It'll lead to a fight, Kim. If I even say that, it's going to lead to a fight. And I'm like, well, okay. So what happens? Let's play it out. If you don't say it, what if you just don't say it? And it's true though, but you don't say it. What happens? See, what happens is our survival brain, the fear-based brain, does not want conflict. So it lies to you to stop the conflict potential right now. But what it doesn't tell you is what's going to happen by not telling the truth right now. In fact, the thing you fear most in Job, the scripture that I always go to in this kind of an idea, is the thing I feared most came upon me, Job says. So was it that God was really testing Job? I don't really want to go to the specifics of the scripture. I want to talk about how it applies to me in this situation, because we can go to a whole other conversation about that. But the truth of that whole story to me is that the thing we fear most will come upon us eventually. So when you don't want conflict, and that stops you from having an honest conversation with someone in a mild and calming and loving way, even because you are going to risk riling them up. You are going to risk the potential of conflict in the moment, aren't you? Yeah, because you can't control how the other person will hear it. You can't control that they might get defensive, that they might not like it, that they might be angry, they might start a fight, but you don't have to play. If you will come from, number one, a more aligned position inside yourself that, you know what, it's my truth and I'm saying it in love. And when I've had these kind of conversations, let's just say with my husband, I have these kind of conversations and I have to go, wait, is this really true for me? If the answer is yes, then I say, well, okay, how can I have this conversation the best way possible? So I'm gonna get quiet. I'm trying not to be reactionary back. So if he gets reactionary to me, that's on him. I don't know. But here's what chatter is going to tell you to not do it, because what they're going to do. Well, I know what they're going to do, so I'm not even going to do it. I already know what's going to happen. Well, that keeps you safe in the moment, doesn't it? But not really. Because what will happen is the thing you fear most, the conflict, is actually going to get worse if you don't communicate it, because you're going to communicate it somehow. You're going to put little jabs in. You're going to be passive aggressive. You're going to be like, right? I don't know. Maybe you're not like that, but that's how I sense in myself when I don't deliver the appropriate, honest communication. And I use this excuse that, well, I know what's going to happen. Yeah, I do know what's going to happen if I don't. I am guaranteed that if I don't do it now, while I can be in response, while I can be response-able, not reactionary, but response, and I can get calm and stay calm, and even if I push a button in the other person, it's okay, let that happen. It doesn't mean anything. It means that they got a button push. But if I don't react back, then they're just going to have their little fit by themselves, and I'm just going to say, well, I love you, and I really feel like I need to deliver this communication. I need to say this because it's honest for me right now. and I just want to have a conversation about it. So maybe I've noticed offering some language around having these honest conversations. If you're needing that, reach out to me. I'll give you some language around it, because it's hard. Like, you have a desire for it, but you don't necessarily, we're not taught this way. We're not taught. The majority of people on the planet do not communicate honestly. They are totally monster driven, totally, I better not say that. So what happens is you don't say it, you don't say it, you don't say it. You get sick, you get ulcers, you get migraines, you get dis-ease. And then what happens is you blow. You wait until you can't do anything but blow. Then, do you have conflict? Absolutely, you have conflict. And it could have been maybe mostly avoided and much healthierly dealt with for yourself if you learn how to deliver it, be honest, because it's really an honesty issue, isn't it? But your survival brain's going to have you all worked up, and it's going to provide lots of reasons why. Oh, I can't have this conversation right now because he's already really stressed about something in his life. Oh, I'm going to wait. We have this issue happening financially. I'm going to wait till after that. Oh, we're going to be going on vacation, so I'm going to wait. Like, whatever. See it for what it is. It is your logical brain being hijacked by your fear brain. And that's what we do all the time. So we don't have honest conversations. We wait till we explode. Then we get to be right about what's going to happen if I say something. Oh, it's going to be a big fight. Yeah, well, maybe it's because you waited so long to talk about it. And now the resources emotionally available to you now are not what they would have been had you done it way back here when it was really, if you were aware of the need for it. Anyway, if you need some language around how to have these conversations, because again, we're not taught it, we're not modeled it in our families as a rule. Most families don't deal with conflict, they hide from it, they run from it, so that's what we model in our children. Maybe even parents talk about the other spouse to their kids. I know I've done that too, and it's like, oh, that's not a good thing. Let's not do that, Kim. Let's have the conversation with the person it really needs to be with. But as children, we're modeled. As adults, we live in a very toxic communication world. And I am one of the things I want to do on the planet is heal these kinds of things in people and help them have more honest and authentic emotional wiring to be able to deal with it in a much more healthy way, to find that peace. Anyway, thanks for listening.